Okay, great. So we're going to cover some fundamentals of knife defense. Knife in the street is probably the single hardest thing to deal with because a knife is a really dangerous weapon that can hurt you in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of videos out there that work on knives. There's some fundamental concepts of knives that we believe work. The Krav Maga guys think the same thing. So we're going to stay within those basic fundamentals, and that is going to be real simple. Is if the person is coming to stab you with a knife, you see a lot of demonstrations on YouTube from traditional martial artists where they do all these cool moves off of a knife. That is really, really hard, if not impossible to do. And the other thing too is what happens is a lot of times is the guy's going to take his knife and he's going to do his half-hearted stab, maybe at a #1 angle, and I'm going to do my beautiful block, and he's going to hold the knife right there for me, and I'm going to do all these things. That's baloney. I call BS on that. When this guy wants to stab me, he's going to pull out that knife and he's going to start stabbing us. Right? That's what's going to happen. That's the reality of a knife stab. It's violent, it's aggressive, it's chaos. So if you don't know how to deal with that, I don't care. All your cool moves that you practice in a dojo with the guy holding his knife still are going to get you killed. So fundamental concept we're going to work on is, doesn't matter whether you're doing red zone or Krav or whatever the knife defense you is, there's a couple that really work. And the fundamental principle is this.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
One thing to keep in mind, we use training knives a lot. The knife that I use is actually very similar to the knife that I carry every day. So one thing that's important to do is whenever we're starting to practice with knives, and we kind of just do it without thinking about it anymore, but is to look and make sure, yeah, I got a training knife in my hand. Or make sure that your partner's using a training knife, because we don't want to accidentally grab something, because this feels very much like my everyday carry knife. So if I accidentally was to pick that up and grab it, if I didn't check and make sure, hey, this is the training knife, something really bad could happen. So we're always very careful about that when we're training with knives.
Great point, great point. So the first thing is when I see the knife is coming out, my goal is going to be to control the arm that has the knife. So it can't keep coming back and stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. If he's stabbing at me in slow motion and I'm trying to grab this knife and do these kind of techniques, I can almost guarantee that is not going to work when he's going full out. So what I've got to do is I've got to present pressure to this arm in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Notice how I'm not trying to grab this knife as it's stabbing at me. So I can come with this block here and get forward, which stops the knife from coming back. Some of the guys will do this technique where they come here to the arm, right? We'll come to the arm here. I got to control the arm so I can't keep stabbing, right? Some of the red zone guys will come with this block here, and then they'll come here, right? This controls the arm. Controlling the arm with forward pressure. I'm going to say it again for reinformation and reaffirmation. Forward pressure is critical. If I stay out here, he can pull the knife back and hit me. If I block this knife with this technique, and I stay back, you can pull it back and stab me again. It's critically important that I get forward pressure. So whatever technique that you do in your system, whether it's this, if I go forward, boom, boom, boom. Right? If I do our block here, which is here, boom, and then forward, this arm is now stopped. He's not stabbing me again. Okay? We'll do third one, boom, right? This stops the arm. Let's go here, right? This arm is not stabbing me a second or third time. No matter what system you use, the ones that work when somebody's really trying to stab you hard is controlling that arm. You have to go forward. Your natural reaction is to want to back up. That's going to get you stabbed 2 or 3 times. We have to get forward pressure on this knife. Right? It doesn't really matter what angle it is. It's going to be the same concept and principle. Now our technique here, we're going to borrow from Krav Maga, is we're going to shoot, punch through. We train with this here, right? So even if you forget and you do what you train, which is the shoulder shot, boom, that hurts, right, Dave?
You know what happened,
right? Now that shocks his whole body. Now our next technique is boom, and then I'm going to come here. And from this position here, right, he can't stab me. Now here, boom, bang. All right, to the ground. I'll take that knife. This is not, you look at Dave's face. Are we out of frame?
Go ahead.
Okay, right? Right there, I'll easily take his knife. Now again, that requires some practice, but the concept is simple. If I'm here and I forget everything and I hold this arm, right? Or if I get outside and I hold this arm, I'm gonna be okay because I can fight. If I try to grab the hand with the knife, my friend Tom has his students do these drills where he lets them stab each other for 30 seconds and everybody gets stabbed a whole bunch because it's really hard to try to grab that fast moving knife. I just want to smother the arm in general. Boom. And notice I'm going forward. Dave, can you pull your arm back and stab me again? Nope, can't do that, right? So there are many situations, some people are here, boom. If I stay here, Dave's gonna pull the knife back and stab me. So low block, boom, right? Maybe I get it hard and he misses, he'll just pull it right back and stab me again. I cannot not get that forward pressure. So even though I do that technique, boom, I need to come forward. Now we don't recommend that technique, but that was just an example. So that's a very important point. If he stabs or slashes up high, same thing, I'm going forward. This is hurting Dave's arm. I could hear the oof when he did it, and then I'm gonna hit at the same time. So I'm gonna hit him with 2 hands, boom. This is part 2. Now from here, I can bring the knife to that position here, break the elbow, elbow here. I can come here and lock this down. Really depends on what I feel like doing. But at the same time, I'm coming forward. Some guys will lock you on this way. That's fine too, as long as I see this pressure right here. I'm gonna come across Dave's chin and we're gonna smash him on the ground and then beat this knot out of him some more and then he'll drop the knife all by himself if you lock yourself in this position. But the concept is what's critically important, which is forward pressure to the arm of the knife. If I just do this here and I stay here and I don't go forward pressure, he'll pull it back. If I stay here and I forget about it, he can hit me the other hand. Boom. So I have to get forward into the body. Okay. Now, we're not going to cover all the details of the different ways that we handle knives. The principle of forward pressure and covering that arm is critical in knife defense. Doesn't really matter what system you're in. Every system that's effective with knives is going to do that same principle because the actual technique can vary, but the principle will not vary. So thanks. Cool.